Yes, that is what happened,
But,
I think.
yeah,
But
that's,
I don't know what to do about this, because they say that they had no idea that this information was out there. They told me, my mother first told me that I did not make any threats. Then my father said that no, you did at one point, and then my mother said, yeah, okay, I remember it as well, but it was not something clear. It was me just screaming and screaming, and they say that with my screaming they think they heard a death threat, and I say no, because I know what I screamed, and but it's 3 years ago, so that's complicated. But what they told me, and I remember that, is that they never told the VARD or the police or anyone that I made death threats. So
then that's impossible to know for us.
yeah, it's a delicate for me, because I see in the report it says very clear your mother said you wanted to kill her, but then I asked my mother and she says I don't know, I didn't say that.
Then it's her word
So
against the information on paper.
yeah, and it's not even clear, because that information appears multiple times, written by multiple persons, but that's not that the persons know from me, they know from her. So it's impossible to verify it, because if I ask them, did I say that? They say no, but your mother did. But how do you know? And
it's hard to find out now.
Yeah, I don't understand. From my perspective, I don't understand why the information is out there.
Because it's very important information.
No, I understand this, but I don't understand why it appeared. Because indeed I was screaming and saying, I remember I said this, I said I wouldn't mind seeing you dead, or stuff like this, that was very controversial. These were not direct threats, but it was something not normal. You usually wouldn't say this to family.
And what's the question right now?
So the question is, how did this happen? So did my parents really say that, or was it just an exaggeration in order to?
Yeah, I don't have that fact. I only have what you have on paper. That's written.
Okay, and the second thing is that I talked to a policeman who's a neighbor of mine. He's really outgoing and willing to help. So yeah, and he told me that regarding the death threats, he doesn't know anything. So that's
we didn't know.
Yeah. He talked to my parents as well, and he talked to the police teams that came to pick me up twice. They said they didn't know anything about this, but what he did say was that the police teams that picked me up, at least the ones that came after I ran away, they got the information that I would have been suicidal, or that I would have had a big reason to be suicidal. And then I looked into the report, and I saw the same thing. It says that my mother, when I escaped, she called, I don't know if the police or the VARD, and said that I was suicidal. But then I had a problem with the people in the VARD, because I thought that someone there said that, and I know I didn't. But then I wrote, and it's exactly the way I described it, because I said, because I remember a nurse saying something about being suicidal or hurting yourself. And then I did a big thing. I went and I said, I'm not suicidal, and I wrote a letter to you, it's just a small letter. I'm not suicidal, stop this. I was very, very angry at the time. But that's what I remember as well, and that's what I see in the report. So I see that there's no mistake about this. But then the question is again, because my mother also told me that she doesn't remember if I would have wanted to hurt myself or stuff like this.
Then that's something she doesn't remember.
And
because we cannot have that kind of information. We will not ever write down a mother called and told us this and this and this if she didn't call. So
she did do this. If it says in the report that she called and she said that, it means that she did.
Maybe she cannot remember, but otherwise it's not possible for us to write it down.
No, I thought maybe it's some sort of exaggeration or mistake from Dutch to English, like maybe she said, I'm worried that he might...
That's maybe possible, the nuances, maybe